Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Engine of the Nation. I am Brother Patrick Muhammad of Your Faith Farms, and thank you for tuning in with us today. Hey, this is our first segment, so we're excited, we're a little nervous, but guess what? It's okay. Anything of value has a difficulty factor attached to it, so we're excited that you're joining us today. We're going to get started with our first clip to welcome you to Your Faith Farms. Here we grow. Fear, faith, and truth. Your Faith Farms. Engine of the Nation. Stay tuned. Now, just a little bit about who we are. Again, my name is Brother Patrick S. Muhammad, and my wife is Sister Ishtar Muhammad of Muhammad Mosque number 15, Atlanta, Georgia. And we are products of the time and what must be done from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Number 36 was farming is the engine to our national life. And in that video, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan encouraged us to buy land. And let me tell you all something. That video changed our lives. So after the video we're watching, right, and I told my wife, I think the minister told us to buy land. And she looked at me a couple of times and we said, yeah, I think he was telling us to buy land. And guess what? To our listening and viewing audience, a family with no experience, no agriculture background, we moved from a 30-foot front yard subdivision to 31 acres. So we named it Your Faith Farms, as you just saw in the clip, because we truly stepped out on faith. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has encouraged and inspired people all over the world. And we are just a product of his inspiration as it relates to agriculture. I do have a couple of videos that I want you to see. Check out this one. Engine of the Nation, located right outside of Metro Atlanta, hosted at Your Faith Farms, a family of Muslims who stepped out on faith and moved from a 30-foot backyard to the 31-acre homestead farm. At Your Faith Farms, they raise grass-fed beef, lamb, vegetables, chickens, and a large herd of rescued horses. Stay tuned for more to come from Engine of the Nation and Your Faith Farms. So as you can see, we have been blessed with a beautiful property. It's right at 31 acres and a mule. We kind of call him a donkey. His name is Freedom. This little guy right here, he's solely on the farm just because our people were promised 40 acres and a mule. We have 31 and a donkey, and we'll get the other 9 acres and a mule later on. But Freedom serves as a source of inspiration to us every day. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan can change your direction. He's changed ours. Now let's talk about this agriculture a little bit. As you know, there's no culture with agriculture. During the pandemic, it became more apparent of how important our land had become. So in 2014, my family and I stepped out on faith and we bought the farm. We started with the purchase of 8 cows collectively with some of the mighty FOI of Muhammad Mosque number 15. Those 8 cows eventually turned into 12 cows, and we were all living in a subdivision. And so my family decided to just test this out a little more, and we began to search for land. And so we always encourage people to buy land, not buy the model, not buy a blueprint, but step out and buy land. As the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan told us, the rest will come after you get the land. And so we purchased the 31 acres. We brought our now 12 cows to the farm. And we have gotten all the way up to 32 cows, remember, with no experience. Our model quickly shifted to where we began to process and sell grass-fed beef and grass-fed lamb. And we have a customer base now between 50 and 60 families that purchase their meat solely from your faith farms. In addition to that, Sister Ishtar, my wife, began to put her hands into the garden and master with that green thumb. And so we've had years where we had abundance of okra, white corn, Swiss chard, broccoli, lettuce, different kinds of lettuce, tomatoes. We have fig trees here, pecan trees, persimmon trees, dwarf pear trees. And so on the land is resources that are beyond our wildest dreams. We've been fortunate to have our own well that's 700 feet deep. And listen to this, it's 7.4 alkaline coming right out of the ground. And why do I say these things? Not to be braggadocious. I say this to inspire all out there that we can do it, because my family is an example of doing it without the experience. You have the experience out there. You have that drive out there. You've been inspired by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And through this engine of the nation, we're going to inspire you to step out on faith. Through our segments each week, we're going to interview farmers all over the country. We're going to interview farmers in livestock, vegetable farmers, aquaponics, and then we're going to look to those farmers. So if you're a farmer out there and you want to be featured on Engine of the Nation, we look forward to aiding you. And you can be interviewed by us by contacting us, by sending an email at contact@nnvnews.com. Again, that's contact@nnvnews.com. So if you're a farmer out there, you're in agriculture out there, you've been working, you've been grinding, and you want to be featured, we would love to feature you because your story is a story that would inspire others. So we ask you to tune in weekly at 6 p.m. to NNV News to see what we're doing, not only at your faith farms, but with farmers all over the country. Lastly, we've been featured, you all, on Fox News right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Check out this clip of what we've been doing at the farm.
Look for alternate ways to keep fresh food on the table.
That includes planting and farming in your own backyard. Fox 5's Portia Bruner visited one farm in Fairburn where kids and teens can learn how to grow their own food.
If they ain't happy, you might not get eggs. If they see a snake, you might not get eggs. If the weather changes, you might not get eggs. So chickens are hard to really be consistent.
Patrick Muhammad and his wife Ishtar have learned a lot of lessons since they purchased their 31-acre farm in Fairburn 6 years ago. They raise chickens, horses, and grass-fed cows and sheep on a spot they call Your Faith Farms.
Lamb is a sheep. A lamb is a young lamb, but the meat that you eat is a sheep. I guess sheep meat don't sound too good. But
the couple used to have a quiet but steady flow of customers. But since the coronavirus pandemic, business picked up from consumers looking for fresher options without the grocery store crowds.
Especially with COVID-19, and we have, not been going out often. And so my daughter actually had a desire to kind of learn how to, grow her own vegetables.
And that's why Patrick, who is also the principal of Chattahoochee Hills Charter School, spends a lot of time talking to the youngest visitors.
And if nothing more, you all, that we learned in this COVID situation, overnight the world changes. And our food is impacted and affected.
Derek Montgomery says the farm-to-table lessons made him think twice about starting his own garden at home in Atlanta.
Just how food is processed and how healthy we can be, by growing our own food. And it's really not that difficult.
This is your first time on a farm?
Yes.
Wow. Would you come back?
I would. I will definitely want to do the horse riding.
And beyond the meat and vegetables, that spark of interest is what Patrick is hoping everyone will leave his farm with after a visit.
What I would encourage all families to do is grow where you are. No matter where you live, no matter the condition, you have to and you must start growing now.
In Fairburn, Portia Bruner, Fox 5 News.
Thank you. We hope that has inspired you. Now, in that clip, you guys got a chance to see one of the newest blessings of Your Faith Farms. Last September, we had the opportunity to rescue a horse. Now, for our first 6 years of farming, we were anti-horse. Like, we're not going to get horses on our property. And the last experience we had with a horse was actually being with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in Georgia when he received a prize horse. And so that was as close as we've been to having horses anywhere near our farm. Well, it all changed September 2019, where we rescued a horse by the name of Sweet Tea. And so in that time from last September to this September, we have rescued 22 horses, and they all are here. And one of our future episodes will let you see the horses at Your Faith Farms. Listen, you can do so much more when you step out on faith and depend solely on Allah. So what the farm has shown us is that getting out of your comfort zone allows Allah to expand your breast. And so, no, we have not had any formal education on how to handle livestock, but we've birthed cattle, we've birthed sheep, we've had chickens, we've had horses, and it comes from only believing that Allah is the author of everything, being still, saying our prayers, and allowing Him to speak to us. In our garden, we've had no formal vegetable growing classes, but we know that Allah is off returning, right? He is always giving. He's ample in his giving. And so if we put a seed in the ground in his earth and it gets the water and the sunlight, it has to do what it naturally has to do. And so we encourage you all through these segments to begin to start farming and growing where you are. So we hope that you enjoyed our first episode and our segment. We look forward to you joining us weekly, and we look forward to interviewing those farmers and those in ag space throughout the country. Remember, if you would like to be interviewed by us, please send an email to contact@nnvnews.com. Once again, that's contact@nnvnews.com. I am Brother Patrick Muhammad with Engine of the Nation. Thank you for tuning in to NNV News. Please share your thoughts with us in the comment section below. Follow us on all social media at NNV News, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, National Network View. I'm Brother Patrick Muhammad. I'm signing off from Engine of the Nation. I'll see you next week. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.
Be a part of the force that powers truth in journalism. Your support helps to combat false media. Cash App NNV News.
The nation must acquire land. Production of food, clothing, and shelter. Freedom is independent agriculture. Farming is the engine of the nation.